Peace and blessings, royal family. This is a question from Magnus Simonson. I am able to transfer my personal self to something totally else, where I'm kind of feeling divine. It's very hard to explain, but it's like I don't have any empathy and I kind of feeling that I'm evil or something, or like I don't really feel for others. Something you may be able to know about? Of course. I could help you with that. You know, when the ethereal energy come down on you, or the entities or the beings, the first thing you're going to get is anxiety. But it's not your anxiety, it's their anxiety. They're afraid. They see humans as like destructive, evil, and they kill each other. They don't fight. They won. There's no duality up there in that world. So when they come, it's like they have to learn how to trust you. And in trying to learn how to trust you, it becomes a very uncomfortable anxiety feeling that's always going to be feeling amongst them first on you. So that's where we first learn to be an empath. That feeling gives you your empath when you learn to embrace it. Take a deep breath. It's like your heart rate goes up and your nervous system go up, but after maybe a day or three or a week of feeling these feelings, it becomes normal to you because now it's a whole new life, a whole new feeling, but it don't feel like how you felt it at first. As a matter of fact, you feel back to your old self, although your nervous system is kicked in. So you will feel those first and this empath come on, but then after a while now, it starts to affect your ego. You see, they ascend on you. These feelings now start coming over you, not egotistical, it's just a sense of knowing. And once you know, you come across a lot of people who challenge you or come into duality with you instead of uniting. So it winds up always being arguments and disagreement because they can't see from your perspective due to the fact most of it stirs up their ego because you're not talking in a sense of, humbleness or both confused. It's like you're asserting yourself, and you being assertive, it triggers them to go into their responsive mode, and it just becomes a big argument. And so you now are going to get the hate and feeling of those things for human beings because all draconian, all higher beings do not like human beings. There is not a being, not from God, not from Michael, not one angel see human beings as good. We're first demons that have to ascend. And so they're there more to kill you. They're set in place to get rid of you than to actually let you pollute the astral world. I was reading, and I read the Coburn Bible too, and it tells you how the beings from the other side or the spirit side, they can't take it at times and they open up and let the dragon out, the destroyer, because we pollute the astral world with our fears, desires. All that should go up to the astral world, and then it's like noise to them, pollution, smog. They can't take it. So after a while, they destroy everybody on the earth so that they can purify or purge their self up there because of our fucked up ways. So you having this type of ego characteristics is the normal way of an angel. You understand? A higher being, that's normal. It's not something that's bad. It's a protection mechanism and you of knowing. And you can't be around unknowers and not be assertive and have an ego because then you're going to be second guessing yourself and it could get you killed. And now the third part is how you say you're feeling evil or whatever. Once you get up into the astral world, everything changes. It's like you're gonna feel like you Cole from Charmed and shit, that he became Beelzebub or the Lord of the Underworld. It's the same thing. So you have to phantom that world first, what was gonna give you the personality, the demeanor to survive in that world. So it's going to be seeming like you feel like you're evil and everything about you is evil, but you got to realize it's a world that you're in. It's meant to be as a survival mechanism. It's there in place to help you to make yourself comfortable again. You can't let it overwhelm you. You see, it has two parts to it because if you let it overwhelm you, all it's going to do is lead you into a path of being to yourself, and it's going to be a destructive path. It might even take over your mind. But you got to live within it and know it's there as a protection and know when to use it and when to fall back. So that's why you're going to go through this. But eventually, it's more now of you becoming yourself, your true self, who you are. It probably wasn't hard for you to connect. Now, the thing is, it's going to be hard for you to balance it and change. Nobody's here to stay in one position. Your ultimate goal is to be God. So even if you're a higher being already, that's not your maximum. Your ultimate is to take it to the next level. So by you staying in the temple or staying within your own makaba or meditating, you get to learn what you have to do next to better yourself and take yourself from maybe Demion to God to um, Seraphim and to cherubs and then being God. Think about it. The perfect beings was the Sphinx. They was the first creator. God created everything perfect first, and as everything went down the line, it was more imperfect until solidification came and physical man came. So we're the most imperfect out of all God's perfect creation, with the seraphim or the winged ones being the firstborn. So they're the most perfect of anything. So we might think us as this human being looking thing is perfect, but we're not. We fucked up. We're not supposed to look like that. We're supposed to be more anamorphic. That's why you see Egyptians have half human, half animal beings, because they was one with everything, with the wings, everything. You know, I'm gonna get into some deeper stuff with the wings and all how they look, because it got a deeper sentimental meaning, and we all have to connect with it. It's the ring. It's the actual mother. You know, that's her dimensions. But that's a whole nother topic. So, you know, Simon, I hope you get an understanding of why you feel like this. This comes with the powers that be. You have to balance them out. You're not evil, and it will change after a while if you change it. If you dwell within yourself, it's going to stay that way, and you're going to be that evil person. You understand? You're in the Tuat right now. Learn your lessons and be humble about it. Control your emotions, control your feelings. Read a lot of books. Acquire intelligence. Intelligence is the only key to getting options other than what you already got. So once you get that in your mind, you have a whole bunch of options, new options pop up, which give you better imagination. If not, you're only going to choose what's given to you. Now, I wanted to speak up on the name, Simon Magus. You know, Simon Magus, that used to be my name. As a matter of fact, Simon Magus is Enki. You know, it's Enki, and you have Simon Magus got a woman. Her name is Helen. You know, you gotta look. Simon Magus is famous, man. He's a real guy. It ain't like he's made up. You understand? They got a statue for him. I think it's in Italy. Simon the Grotto. That's where you get the word ghetto from. Ghetto came from Simon. He's the magician that made up Gnosticism. The version of it was the split off that's called Christianity. But what he did was the part called heresy. He was into demons. He finished the chakra system and became a full being and was able to fly, float around, do all of that. You understand? He's the one who taught Jesus. If you read the books, he's Lazarus. He's also the guy who Jesus go see in Bethany where they're washing his feet. All of them is this one person, his best friend. It's a love story about that homeboy with his woman, I forgot her name, Helen, and Jesus with Mary Magdalene. Both of them was prostitutes, and they went around healing people and initiating people, but it was all through Tantra, unity. So that's what that about. But him himself, he goes down into other places. You could read about him through the great church fathers like Alexandria, what's his name, Augustine, Clement of Alexandria. All of them, he's in his book. You could check out Clementine homilies. You can even Google him, man, and read up on him. He's a real dude that had real powers that defy everything. They say he got too big for himself, was flying one day and challenged somebody, and he fell out the sky, broke his neck and all that. But I know the true story, and it's real, you know. So shout out to Simon Magus, who started all this stuff. He started not just the Christian, like I said, religion is the foundation for the Gnostics. The Gnostics started, and he started the whole Gnostic. And what he did was the Egyptian art. You understand? He took it to the whole high level, completed it, and became a higher being, Kundalini activated with all the powers that go with it. So I hope you understand, and I hope this video helped you. University of Conscious Science, one love.